time before kingdoms, before men carved borders into the earth, there was a realm unseen by mortal eyes. Hidden in an endless shroud of silver mist, it floated between worlds. Not land, not sky, but something in between. The air was heavy, the silence unbroken, and within that silence, a heartbeat echoed. The heartbeat of the City of Shadows. Its walls were carved from black stone, each slab pulsing faintly, as though alive. They rose higher than sight could follow, disappearing into the rolling clouds above. Spires crowned with silver flame pierced the mist, and in the deepest tower she ruled, a queen older than time itself, her reign stretching unbroken for 1,000 years. On the night when the moon devoured the sun, a lone rider came. His armor was battered, the steel dulled by battle and betrayal. His name was Kael, a knight who had given everything for his king, only to be cast aside. Blood ran from his wounds, but it was the weight in his heart that almost brought him to his knees. And yet something stirred in the mist ahead, a whisper that curled through the air, soft yet commanding, speaking his name as though it had always known him. The gates loomed in the haze, vast, unmoving, yet waiting. Without touch or sound, the gates groaned wide, the noise rolling like distant thunder. A river of mist poured from within, curling around Kael's feet, cool and beckoning. The city beyond seemed to breathe in the darkness. The moment he crossed the threshold, the gates slammed shut. The clang echoed through the empty streets, and the whisper became a chorus, soft, overlapping voices, some pleading, some laughing. And then she came, Elivara, the Queen of Shadows. Her beauty was cold and flawless, her skin pale as moonlight. Long black hair rippled like ink in water, and her eyes, glowing icy blue, locked onto him. She smiled, a slow, knowing smile that promised both wonder and ruin. Her voice was like silk coated in steel. She spoke of the city's curse, saying,
"No one leaves unless they bring her the Ring of Dawn, the lost relic in the deepest cavern, guarded by a monster no mortal weapon could destroy."
I will get it, no matter what it takes.
With no other fate before him, Kael turned from the Queen's throne and walked into the maze of streets. Shadows crawled across the walls, shifting as though alive. The city felt less like stone and more like a living thing watching him. A voice, warm, human, cut through the cold. Mirel stepped from an alley, her eyes quick, her movements quicker. She told him,
"I know a secret path, a path to the cave where you can obtain the Ring of Dawn, and I will tell you if you promise me freedom from the city's grip and from the Shadow Queen."
They descended into the Undercity, the air thick with the scent of ash and damp stone. Water dripped somewhere far off, the sound swallowed by the dark. Their torches burned low, their light trembling like frightened children. The walls shifted, stone grinding on stone, closing in like jaws. Kael braced himself, shoving them back with a roar, just enough for Mirel to slip through. She moved with the ease of one who had walked these paths many times before. And then the eyes came, dozens of them, blinking into existence in the black, yellow, unblinking, fixed on them both. Kael's breath misted in the cold air as he gripped his sword. The stone itself seemed to remember. Faces pressed through it, hollow-eyed, screaming silently. They were the souls of those who had failed before, trapped forever in the city's bones. At last, the earth split before them, a vast wound, glowing red from the rivers of molten fire within. The cavern's mouth gaped wide, breathing out heat and shadow. From the blackness beyond the fire came a sound, low, rumbling, ancient. The beast stepped forward, half wolf, half dragon, its body wreathed in smoke and flame. Its eyes burned like dying suns. Steel met shadow, light clashed with flame. Each strike sent ripples through the molten rivers, but the creature stood unbroken, its roar shaking the cavern's walls. With a final surge, Kael leapt, his blade finding the beast's heart. The cavern exploded in light, shadows shrieking as they burned away. Silence fell, heavy and final. A Among the ashes lay the ring. It was small, delicate, yet its light was as pure as the first sunrise after 1,000 years of night. They walked together through the mist, the ring cold in Kael's palm. The gates loomed ahead, and Elivara stood waiting, her gaze unreadable. Mirel's smile changed. The truth spilled like poison. She had been the Queen's servant all along.
The journey has been a test for you, an ordeal you were never meant to survive, and Mirel helped me make it happen.
The ring tightened on his hand, its light turning cold. Shadows poured into his veins, crawling beneath his skin. His vision darkened, and when he looked up, his eyes were no longer his own. Kael was no longer a knight. His armor darkened, his voice deepened. He became the warden of the gates, the first to greet and the last to see those who dared enter the city of shadows. And still, in the mist, the whispers waited for their next victim.